Hello, Bismillah. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Allahu Akbar.
نعم مستر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Yeah, all right. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. The Sheikh Zubair, right?
نعم يس أستاذ.
Barakallah. كيف حالك?
الحمد لله بخير. وأنتم يا أستاذ؟
بخير ولله الحمد والشكر. حياكم Allah. Okay, guys, I'm going to repeat everything that I just repeated before. But before I do so, can everybody now hear me? If everybody can just confirm in the comments thread. Apart from you, Sheikh Zubair. MashaAllah, you confirmed. Yes. Hear and see. Excellent. Shalisha and Farwa. Can you guys hear? Yep, Mumtaz. Barakallahu fiki, sister. And the last person, I believe, is okay, Farwa. If you can just confirm, inshallah ta'ala, please, that'd be great. All right, in the meantime, Akhi Zubair, I'm gonna just mute your microphone. I'm gonna jump in, and as and when it's time to participate, inshallah, I'll unmute you. Is that okay, Akhi?
طيب إن شاء الله أستاذ. نعم.
Jazakallahu khaira. It looks like Sister Farwa has just left the room. Okay, no problem. Maybe she's having connectivity issues. All right, Jade. I'm going to start again, guys. Bismillahi wa salatu wa salamu ala ashraf al-anbiya'i wal mursaleen nabiyina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallama taslima kathira. أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله تبارك وتعالى وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Sister Farwak, I've just seen that you've come back into the room. Can you hear me, sister, clearly? If you can let me know if you can see and also hear, that'll be much appreciated, inshallah ta'ala. I'm going to continue, but I will keep an eye on the comments thread, inshallah ta'ala. All right, guys. I'm so happy to be meeting you guys once again. I've been literally looking forward to this, our appointment for the last few days. Now, I've got a few questions, just 4 questions before we actually go back into the PDF and start analyzing the mechanics of the grammar. The first question is, I forgot to mention in our previous class that some of you already know, some of you may not know, that all of you, all right, all of you without any strings attached, as a result of, trusting me, signing up for Medina Book 2 for the next 4 or so months, you guys have got absolutely free access when we do the Medina Book free live classes, all right? And I'm hoping that they will begin, InshaAllah, tabaraka wa ta'ala, in January/February. All right, I'll see how my health is at that time. And obviously, I'll be liaising with you all as to see what your availability is, inshallah. So if it's convenient for everybody, then we can make it happen. We can make it happen. If it's convenient for some and not for others, then inshallah ta'ala, like these videos are recorded, I will also record Medina Book 3 and just give you guys free access via the back end of your site. How does that sound, guys? If you can just let me know in the comments thread if you can hear that loud and clear, inshallah ta'ala. I'm assuming Zubair, you heard that message, and Ameen, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserve you too. Sounds good, Shalisha. Barakallahu feeki, Sister Abdullah, mashallah, barakallahu feek. No, it's my pleasure, guys. It's my pleasure. It's the least I can do. It's the least I can do for you guys. Farwa, I'm not reading anything from Sister Farwa. Can somebody just quickly type in the comments thread and ask Sister Farwa if she can hear us? And if she can't, oh, yep, she can. Alhamdulillah, jazakallahu khair. Barakallahu feeki. Mumtaz. All right, that's the first thing. The second thing I wanted to say is I sent out, perhaps it's probably near enough 40 minutes ago now, I sent out a PDF, right? Now that PDF contained everything that we are going to cover in lesson 1 from Medina Book 2, all right? It's basically what I'm saying to you in class, written down for those people that like to learn via reading. Who didn't receive that email with the attachment alongside it? Inshallah ta'ala, in the future, I will send it out before the lesson. It was just that I'm just trying to still readjust to, you know, my schedule for teaching online and stuff like that. She said, looking at it now, I need to read as I learn. So this is great. That's fantastic. I'm really happy to hear that. I'm really happy to hear that. Farah said, not me, Ustad. Okay, we spoke. And I'm going to do that privately. I'll make a note of that. And Abdullah says, I haven't. Okay, strange. For some reason then, some of you have received, some of you haven't received, and those that haven't received, I'm gonna sort that out one way or another. It was just basically a small email saying, guys, we're gonna be running live in about 30 minutes or so. Here is a PDF of lesson 1 for you to download. That was it. That was it, guys. There's a few people that still haven't confirmed whether they got the email. Zubair, Rayhana, Isam. I've only got 2 people that haven't confirmed. Sorry, I'm assuming that the rest of you have, sorry. Yeah, that was the question. If you haven't, let me know. Okay, Zubair, you have. Jazakallah khair. Sorry. Excellent. Now, for those of you that logged in, this is question number 3 now. For those of you that logged in before I logged in, how did you guys get access to the link? I'm still trying to understand Zoom. Were you sent an email with the URL, or did you just click on the old link from last week? I used the link from last week. Okay, all right, that's interesting now, because I was under the impression that this platform Zoom would send out the link before every lesson. If that's not if the system isn't doing that, then please do what Zubair and Shalisha done. Just literally click on the link from last lesson or save it somewhere where you can just click on it, and then we can all, inshallah ta'ala, you know, link up here in the Zoom platform. Last and final thing I want to point out today is, inshallah ta'ala, hopefully we're going to finish lesson 1 today. A lot of our lesson 1, or session 1, should I say, was taken up with, you know, introductions and the course outline, and, you know, what I expect, what you guys expect, and whatnot. Somebody's just trying to enter the room. But today, inshallah ta'ala, it is going to be a fantastic lesson, bi'idhnillah ta'ala. So much to learn, so many grammar points to lock down. And best of all, you're going to have the PDF sheet. Either you can look at my screen as we read, or you can have your screen, so your PDF, you can look at that as and when we are going through the material. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly start from the beginning, zoom through until we got up to where we left off last lesson. You guys still with me? Yeah, excellent. And by the way, guys, I did upload last week's lesson. I did upload it, and I put it up as a course on the website. Everybody should have access to that. If they log onto the back end of their site and go to like library or something like that, you should see the Medina Book course right there for you. Nobody else has access to it, only you guys. Like if somebody else went to my website right now and went to store, they wouldn't see it. It's not visible. Perhaps in the future I may make it visible and send it, but for now it's for you guys. Watched it, very beneficial for revision. May Allah bless you, Akhi Zubair. Yes, I saw it there, Abdullah. Fantastic, no problem. All right, guys, let me try to share my screen now. Let's see if I can work this one out. There we go. All right, guys, let me know as and when you guys can see my screen, please. Let me get up the chats. Okay, was it? I can see it. I can see it. Excellent. Is it like nice and big? Nice and big for you guys? Nice and clear? I can see full screen. Excellent. Okay. See, I'm getting a bit better at this Zoom. Before I never, it wasn't probably laid out like this, but khairan. It's all a learning curve. All right, guys. So as you know, what I like to do, guys, right, before I do any video, whether it's, you know, a live stream like this, or whether it's like a course like Medina Book 1, I script everything for the most part. 90% of my stuff is scripted. I just memorize it before I go on camera. So as you can see here, you know, when I was actually designing this course, I was like, you know, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to Al-Muqaddimah, the introduction. I literally write anything that's in my head. So I haven't written this like a book. All right, you're going to actually be reading those things that I would be saying had I presented this to, you know, another class. So I'm going to skip all of this because we know everything about purifying our intentions. And we also know about making sure that the action is in conformity with the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then last week I went on to talk about those things that I encourage you to do. You know, positive attitude moving forward, set dedicated times for your studies. Sorry guys, somebody's trying to get in. Somebody it looked like Sister Shadisha was kicked out for a second. Okay, she's back in. Inshallah khair. And then we went on to, you know, speak about the importance of having a circle of friends that are also dedicated to studying, which will also aid you. And I said, just keep committed and dedicated to your goal. Keep reminding yourself as to why you are doing exactly what you're doing, inshallah ta'ala, and hopefully that will, you know, get you back on track. All right. Don't worry about all of that stuff. I'm just congratulating those people that came with me from Medina Book 1 through to Medina Book 2. And then this is just a little bit of advice. If you haven't completed Medina Book 1 with Maysoor, then I strongly suggest you get well-grounded, or you have a well-grounded understanding of all of the rules, terminologies, and as they will be mentioned frequently throughout the course. Again, guys, you guys can read that in your own time. This is where we started for Ad-Dars al-Awwalu, the first lesson from Medina Book 2. And this is where we're going to start today, inshallah ta'ala, without further delay. So last week, we were learning inna wa akhawatuha. All right, inna and its sisters. Now, in this lesson, mind you, we only cover 2 of the sisters, or inna and another sister. All right, out of all of the 7 inna wa akhawatuha, we only covered 2, which was inna, which we said is a harfu tawkid. It's a particle of emphasis. All right, wa nasbin, meaning that it causes the noun that follows it to become in a state of nasb, or to become mansub. We also learned some of the rules that inna, or that are exclusively to inna, i.e. that it only comes in front of a nominal sentence, which means that you will never see inna in front of a preposition, or you'll never see inna in front of a noun. In front of a verb, my bad, in front of a verb. So let's go, guys. Inna and its sisters are neither asma'un, they're neither nouns, or af'alun, or verbs. They are what we call in Arabic huruf, particles. Now, sometimes, guys, you may hear somebody use the word al-harf or al-huruf to refer to letters, and that is the case. All right, the word harf means letter, or huruf can mean letters. But in this context, when we're speaking about, you know, categorizing al-kalam, as you can see in the diagram below. All right, remember, guys, this is very, somebody's trying to get back in. Farwa. Okay, guys, can you let me know why some of you seem to be jumping out the system? Is it the Zoom platform kicking you guys out, or is it your connection, or are you accidentally exiting and coming back in? or are you having problems hearing me? So you're coming out, then coming back in. Please let me know, ikhwani wa akhawati fillah, so I can, provide a better service. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, the word huruf, sometimes it can mean particles, depending on the context of how the word is used, or sometimes it can mean letters. All right, if we're speaking about the Arabic alphabet and we use the term al-huruf, obviously we're speaking about letters. But when we're speaking about al-kalam, all right, here, al-kalam, as you can see in the diagram, speech, and we speak about the categorization of al-kalam in Arabic, then the word al-huruf refers to particles and it doesn't refer to letters. Let me know, guys, if that is clear. My audio wasn't working, that's why I had to keep re-entering. Okay, I'm assuming it's okay now. Lu'ay. I didn't drop off. I added myself via mobile as well as my laptop so I can use my Arabic keyboard. Okay, excellent. Mumtaz. J. This is because al-kalamu, speech in Arabic, is split into 3 categories. And mind you, see this, what we're looking at right now, al-kalamu is categorized into 3, asma'un, af'alun, wa huruf. This is like the very first lesson in the book, Al-Ajrumiyyah. Very, very famous book called Al-Ajrumiyyah. It's a book in Arabic grammar. There's a fantastic explanation by Sheikh Muhammad Al-Uthaymeen, which I would love to teach in due course. In due course, I would love to teach that book. And it's something I would recommend before students move on to book 3, but after they've finished book 2, then they study Al-Ajrumiyyah. Once they've studied Al-Ajrumiyyah, then they go to Madinah book 3. That's just my opinion, for what it's worth. Anyway, this what we're looking at right now on the screen is the very first lesson from Al-Ajrumiyyah. All right, moving on swiftly. Inna and its sisters are referred to al-huruf as al-huruf an-nasikha. Al-hurufu an-nasikha, because they come in front of a jumlatun ismiya, a nominal sentence, as you all know, and change the rules. All right, we all know, right, that when we have a basic nominal sentence, right, al-waladu jalisun. So, but nominal sentence starts with a mubtada, which is marfu', and it ends with a khabar, which is also marfu'. The rule is that al-mubtada wal-khabar are marfu'ani. Marfu'ani. When I say marfu'ani, I'm speaking about 2 words here. I'm speaking about the mubtada being marfu' and I'm speaking about the khabar being marfu'. So we say al-mubtada wal-khabar marfu'ani. They will always be in a state of ar-rafa'. Even if the khabar is comprised of a preposition and a noun. Let me give you an example, guys. If I were to say, for example, al-imamu fil masjidi. I'm going to be looking at the comments thread now. Al-imamu fil masjidi. Ever so quickly, guys, where is the khabar in that sentence? Al-imamu fil masjidi. The imam is in the mosque. Where is the khabar? Where is the news of this sentence? If anybody can just type it in the comments thread, in the mosque. All right, Zubair says masjidi. Abdullah says in the mosque. Excellent. Anybody else? If you don't know, also say I don't know, because that would also let me know, where you guys are at. All right, so we've got 2 people. Zubair and Isam says masjidi only, and then the rest of you who've participated said fil masjidi. Fil masjidi. Excellent, Farwa. The answer is fil masjidi. This shibuhu jumla, this phrase, is in the position of al-khabar. All right, is in the position of al-khabar. Usually, especially Medina book 1. We do see examples of the khabar being a phrase, but oftentimes the khabar might be just 1 word. But that is not the only way the khabar will present itself in a nominal sentence. Sometimes it might be a phrase. Sometimes it might even be a nominal sentence. Sometimes it might be a verbal sentence. All right, there's different ways that the khabar will present itself, or may present itself, shall I say. No matter what the case is, no matter how it presents itself, is it 1 word? Is it a nominal sentence? Is it a verbal sentence? Is it a phrase? In any case, we say that the khabar, the mubtada and the khabar are in the state of nasb, even if fi came in front of the noun to cause it to become majroor. Does that make sense, ikhwani wa akhwati fillah? I'm checking the comments thread. Even if fi came in front of the word, for example, al-masjidi. Now we know that fi is a harfu jar. Tajurru ma ba'dahu. وما بعدها, it causes the noun that comes after it to be in a state of jar. نعم, al-masjidi is majroor. But when we look at the word fil masjidi, this is our khabar and it's marfu', or fi mahalli rafa', should we say, in the place of a rafa'. Does that make sense? We've got Zubair says yes, Rayhana says yes, Abdullah says yes. Mumtaz. Isam says yes. Excellent. So if we know that that's the case, that the origin of the mubtada and the khabar is that they are marfu'ani, all right, they're in the state of rafa'. Al-huruf al-nasikha, or inna wa akhawatuha, are referred to as huruf al-nasikha because they come in front of the nominal sentence and they change the rules. That's what's intended, ikhwani wa akhawati, by they change the rules. How do they change the rules? We change the rules by, as we know, inna wa akhawatuha tansibu al-mubtada wa tarfa'u al-khabar. Hakada. Please guys, give me a thumbs up, give me a yes, give me a make sense, or I understand, to let me know that we're all on the same page. All right, I'm going to continue talking now, but I'm going to be, I get it, yep, makes sense, understood, mumtaz. Barakallahu feekum jami'an. طيب, now here in this PDF that you guys are looking at now, I've actually mentioned Inna and all of her sisters. In the previous lesson, I didn't. Now I'm going to put them here. Now we're only going to be looking at the first one and the very, very last one. I'm not even going to be interested in the meanings of those in between, but I'm going to read them for you now. So Inna wa akhawatuha, they consist of inna, wa anna, wa ka'anna, wa lakinna, wa layta, wa la'alla. One more time. Inna, wa anna, wa ka'anna, wa lakinna, wa layta, wa la'alla. Sorry, I said 7 letters before. 6 altogether. All right, guys? We're only focusing on inna and we're only focusing on la'alla in this lesson. Why? Because they are the only 2 particles that come in lesson number 1 of Madinah book 2. Each of these particles have their own meanings. However, when either of them come in front of a nominal sentence, they all act in the same way. They all cause the mubtada, or what was previously known as the mubtada, to become in a state of nasb or to become mansoob. All right. And now the mubtada is no longer referred to as the mubtada. It's going to be referred to as ismu inna, ismu layta, ismu la'alla, ismu anna, etc. Hope that makes sense, inshallah, tabaraka wa ta'ala. They cause the mubtada, the subject of the nominal sentence, to become mansoob, and the khabar to remain marfu'. Now, al-mubtada, the subject, takes the name ismu inna in the case of inna only. We can translate it as the noun of inna, and the khabar takes the name khabaru inna, the predicate or the news of inna. In this lesson, as I've said, miraran wa tikraran, yani time and time again, we are going to examine only harafani. Harafani refers to 2 particles. You guys would have learned in Madinah book 1 that when we want to make the dual form of any noun, we just give the alif and the noon at the end. All right, alif and noon at the end is the sign of al-muthanna when we're speaking about 2 things from al-huruf al-nasikha, and they are, guys, la'alla, sorry, inna and la'alla. I just read, Abdullah says yes, that clears up some of my confusion. Excellent. I mean, I would love to actually know what exactly was the confusion, because maybe that was a deficiency on my behalf, and I can modify this sheet so that it's clearer, inshallah ta'ala, in the future for future students. So please let me know when you get some time, please, akhi. Barakallahu feek. We will cover the meanings of these 2 particles. I mean, we've already covered the meaning of inna. We know that. How to use them in a sentence, we've already done that. And the grammatical implications, which we've already done. Inna can be translated as verily, surely, indeed, and is used for at-tawkeed. All right, quick question. Somebody just says, what does nasikha mean? Who can remember from our last lesson what I said that the word nasikha means? Who can remember? I'm going to continue reading, but I'm going to keep an eye on the comments thread, inshallah ta'ala. So anyway, inna can be translated as surely, indeed, verily, and it's used for at-tawkeed. At-tawkeed means emphasis. You want to emphasize something, we use that harf inna at the beginning of the noun. And as previously mentioned, it causes the mubtada of the nominal sentence to become mansoob, and the sign of it being in a state of nasb most of the time, not all of the time, but most of the time, is al-fatha al-zahira, the clear fatha at the end of the word. Well done, Sister Farwa. It means cancelling it out. Have you guys ever heard, I appreciate you may not have studied this science before, but have you ever heard about, you know, علم الناسخ والمنسوخ? Have you ever heard of that? الناسخ والمنسوخ. الآيات الناسخة. No, 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 no. Okay, it's very, very interesting. All right. The science of الناسخ والمنسوخ is a science that's connected to the sciences of the Quran. All right. الناسخ is the verse that, or the thing that abrogates. Al-mansukh is that which has been abrogated. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, I believe it's in Surah Al-Baqarah, ما ننسخ من آية أو ننسها نأتي بخير منها أو مثلها. We do not, ما ننسخ, we do not cause a verse to be abrogated or for it to be forgotten, except that نأتي بخير منها, except that we come with that which is better than that or the same. You guys familiar with that ayah right there? Okay, Rayhana, verses that are replaced by other verses. Excellent. Excellent. Jade. All right, this is what we're speaking about. You can even hear the word ma nansakh, mansukh, and nasikha. They all come from the same word, or to make a naskh of something, to abrogate, to cancel something out. Just a quick observation, Sister Rayhana, is when we're speaking about the science of an-nasikh wal-mansukh, it doesn't only refer to verses that cancel out verses. All right, it might be, you know, a hadith that cancels out a Quranic ayah, you know, and the examples are many, but let's not get into that at the moment, inshallah ta'ala. All right, guys, so let's examine the following example. We've got al-ilmu nurun, as we translated last week as knowledge is light. And then the moment inna comes in front of it, it now becomes inna al-ilma nurun. Verily, indeed, surely, knowledge is light. Now, when we break this down in a very, very basic way, we'd say al-ilma here in the second sentence is ismu inna, and nurun is khabaru inna. Very, very straightforward and simple. And this is what we covered last week. Guys, I'm really sorry that I would prefer only the text that we're looking at to be on the screen, but I can see that you guys can probably see sentence number 3. So I do apologize for that. I hope it's not too distracting. If it is, please let me know, and I'll try to be cognizant of that for our next lesson, inshallah ta'ala. Anyway, number 2, al-imtihanu qaribun, which means the exam, the test, the quiz, however you want to translate it, is close, meaning it's in a few days. The moment we put inna in front of this sentence, it becomes inna al-imtihana qaribun. Indeed, surely, verily, the exam is close. Once again, breaking it down, we say al-imtihanu is ismu inna and qaribun is khabaru inna. Let's look at one more final example, inshallah ta'ala, to make sure and ensure that we drill this rule home. And that's all it is, ikhwani wa akhawati fillah. You all are intelligent people, all right? I don't doubt that any concept in the Arabic language, I'm speaking about from the beginning, from gateway to Arabic all the way to the advanced, you don't have the ability to understand. It's not the case of do you have the ability or not. You definitely got the ability. It's about, going over so many examples that they just stick in your head. But this is the last example I'm going to give. Al-as'ilatu sa'abatun. The questions are difficult. We place inna in front of the sentence. It now becomes innal as'ilata sa'abatun. Indeed, verily, surely, the questions are difficult. Now, guys, quick question. In all of these 3 examples, from al-ilmu nurun, al-imtihanu qaribun, al-as'ilatu sa'abatun, if we look at the khabar of inna in all of the sentence, nurun, qaribun, wa sa'abun, why is sa'abun in the feminine form? Why didn't we say inna al-as'ilata sa'abun? Why are we saying sa'abatun, sorry? Why don't we say sa'abun? Inna al-as'ilata sa'abun. If anybody can, because questions is feminine. Excellent. Well done, Isa. Questions is feminine. Very, very good. Because questions is feminine, because questions are plural. Jade. Because put at end, excellent. Very good. Because as'ila is feminine. That's exactly it. Ikhwani wa akhwati fillah. The word al-as'ila in the Arabic language is feminine. It's also obviously the plural of su'al, and the plural of irrational nouns are treated as the singular feminine. All right, excellent. Has to agree. Very good. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. Sister Shalisha, what didn't you know? Just so I can understand. Matching concept. Zubair, what do you mean by matching concept? What do you mean by matching concept? But what I was getting at in these examples is that the ismu inna in sentence number 1 and in sentence number 2 is in the masculine form. Hence why the khabar is also in the masculine form. There has to be harmony between the genders, you know, except in cases where you can't have harmony. Like for example, if we were to say the Kaaba is the house of Allah. The Kaaba is the house of Allah. Who can write that in the comments thread in Arabic, please? The Kaaba is the house of Allah. Magic. Okay, let me go. Someone said questions are feminine. Not question. Okay, thank you so much for clarifying that, Shalisha, sister Shalisha. Not. I don't want you to think anytime that you ask a question in Arabic is feminine. She means the word question. Al-as'ila. The word itself is a feminine noun. Hope that makes sense. Yes, that's what I meant. Good. I forgot that non-human plurals are treated as good. Excellent. Very good. No, the word questions is feminine. Good. That's exactly what I meant. That's what I intended. Harmony with genders. Fantastic. Shalisha said yes. Al-Ka'batu Baytullahi. Excellent. Jade. Al-Ka'batu Baytullah. Now, when we look at this sentence, Al-Ka'ba is obviously feminine, but it's one of those nouns which are inherently feminine. All right, this is how you cannot make the word al-Ka'batu al-Ka'bu. You know, it wouldn't make sense because the word is al-Ka'batu. It's inherently feminine. But now, because it's inherently feminine, you can't now change the word bayt to baytatullah. You know, al-Ka'batu baytatullah. You can't say that in Arabic. You know, so when you've got a situation whereby a noun is going to be inherently the gender that it is like built upon or created to be in the Arabic language, then there's obviously not going to be harmony. But where you can adjust, you know, then you obviously have to adjust accordingly. Does that make sense? InshaAllah tabarak wa ta'ala. If you don't have an Arabic keyboard, it's no problem. We can do the transliteration thing. I can get by. Guys, are we all on the same page so far? Jade, excellent. So anyway, in breaking down this basic sentence, al-as'ilata is ismu inna and sa'batun is khabaru inna. As you can see, as soon as inna came in front of the aforementioned sentences, it caused al-mubtada to change the vowel sound at the end of the word. Al-mubtada is now mansoob and called ismu inna, whilst the khabar is khabaru inna. Then we went on to last lesson to speak about if the mubtada has tanween, like as you can see here, zaydun. All right. If the subject has 2 dhammas, they will change to 2 fathas respectively. Ponder over the following example. Zaydun mujtahidun. Zayd is hard working. He's a diligent hard worker. All right. The word mujtahid is used in the language here, not the meaning in the religion. When somebody's a mujtahid, he has or she has the ability to delve into the texts of the Quran and the Sunnah and derive rulings. That's not the meaning of mujtahid in this context. Somebody that's mujtahid is a hard worker. Then when we place inna in front of this example, it now becomes inna zaydan mujtahidun. Sorry, inna zaydan mujtahidun. Zayd ismu inna, mujtahidun khabaru inna. Moving on swiftly. This is where I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we got up to it in our last lesson. If somebody can just confirm, and then I'll start slowing the pace down ever so slightly, because I know I've done it. I know I've been speaking quite fast. It's only because I don't want to drag the lessons out going over old information. Yes, I remember reading these. Okay, so it's around this area that we got to بإذن ربنا عز وجل. طيب, أمثلة إن في القرآن. Examples of inna in the book of Allah تبارك وتعالى. طيب. يقول تعالى إن الله غفور رحيم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Baqarah, Verily, Allah is the most forgiving, the most merciful. When we break this verse down grammatically, we say, now guys, you're going to see a whole bunch of Arabic texts right now. And perhaps the first thing that comes to your mind is, oh gosh, what's going on here? I can see a load of vowel sounds and a load of Arabic writing. But don't worry. What you're looking at here now is almost like a system and a process that you follow when you're doing what we call in Arabic al-i'rab. It's the study of what they say, the declension of nouns. You know, paying attention to the last vowel sound at the end of each word. All right. And to some people, it might be a bit boring and a bit monotonous, you know, talking about, okay, this is a fatha because of this. Some people love it, some people don't. I guess it's like Marmite, right? You either love it or you hate it. But irrespective whether you love it or you hate it, you need it. And it's something that if you want to be a proficient Arabic student or student of the Arabic language, you need to know this stuff. Not necessarily how to regurgitate, you know, inna harfu tawkidin wa nasbin tansib al. You don't have to necessarily know that, but you need to know what inna does. So when you're reading a book that doesn't have any vowel sounds, it's all well and good with the Quran, but when you're reading a book that doesn't have any vowel sounds, you need to make sure that your lisan, your tongue, is mustaqima or mustaqim, and it's you read correctly. You read correctly like how an Arab is supposed to read Arabic writing. I really, really hope that makes sense. What you're going to see now is repeated so many times that you're going to start memorizing the formula. When I say the formula, we start off with what the name of the particle is. Then we say what state it's in. All right. Then we say what it's called for the most part. Sometimes it changes, but this is what we're going to be doing over and over and over again. So this is something that I would love for you guys to memorize, inshallah ta'ala, in due course. Anyway, inna is a harfu tawkidin. It's a particle of emphasis. Wa nasbin, and it also causes the word that follows it to become mansub. Tansibu al-mubtada'a wa tarfa'u al-khabar. It causes the mubtada to become mansub, and it causes the khabar to be, or to remain marfu'. Taj'al al-mubtada isman laha. It causes the mubtada to now take its name. The mubtada now becomes ismu inna. Wal khabara khabaran laha. And the khabar also becomes khabaru inna. وهو مبني على الفتح, and it is fixed upon fath, meaning we will never say inni, i.e. without the, I'm not speaking about when you add that ya for the ya al-mutakallim to this word, which we're going to cover inshallah ta'ala in this lesson. I'm speaking about literally changing that fatha to a kasra to say inni. We will never say inni, and we will never say innu. All right, guys? Hope that makes sense. Allah ismu inna mansubun biha. Biha refers to inna. Ismu inna, Allah is now in the position of the ism of inna. It is also in a state of nasb, mansub, due to inna, biha, because of inna. وعلامة نصبه الفتحة الظاهرة على آخره. And the sign of it being in the state of nasb is الفتحة الظاهرة على آخره, at the end of the word. غفور خبر إن مرفوع. It is the khabar of inna in the state of rafa' biha, because of inna. وعلامة رفعه, and the sign of it being in the state of rafa' إخواني وأخواتي في الله is what? الضمة الظاهرة على آخره. The clear dhamma, meaning the dhamma that you can see with your eyes at the end of the word. Guys, does that make sense so far? While I'm waiting for you guys to confirm, who would like to quickly read this example and then also subsequently break down? Who would like me to unmute them? We've got Shalisha, Zubair, Abdullah, Isam, Rehana, Men, me. Farwa, is that you saying me? You want me to unmute you? I'm assuming so. Farwa says yes. Okay, let me look. Bismillah. All right, sisters. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Barakallahu feek. Can you speak, is it my mic? Can you speak a little bit closer to the mic, or?
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah, أحسنت, is much better, much better. واضح. بارك فيكي. كيف حالك؟
أنا بخير الحمد لله.
بارك الله فيك. طيب أختي اقرأي من قول يقول تعالى. اقرأي من هنا ثم أيوة اقرأي من هنا.
إن الساعة آتية.
ممتاز. وما معنى إن الساعة آتية يا فروة؟
Indeed, the hour is coming.
ما شاء الله, ما شاء الله, it's coming. This is in Surah Al-Taha. Beautiful ayah. طيب, so when we break this verse down grammatically, what do we say, sister? Bismillah.
We say inna is well, it says حرف توكيد ونصب.
Excellent. What does that mean? حرف توكيد والنصب.
It's a particle of emphasis and making something mansub.
Excellent. When you say he's making something mansub, what are we speaking about?
We're talking about what comes after it.
Excellent. The noun.
The mubtada.
Mumtaz, mumtaz. Keep going.
Shall I read out all of it?
Yeah, so you got up to now حرف توكيد ونصب. Now you got to read from أيوة نعم.
مبني على الفتح.
ما معنى مبني على الفتح؟
It is fixed upon فتحة.
Excellent. Fixed upon فتحة. Meaning what?
Meaning the mubtada will take فتحة.
Interesting. Who agrees with Sister Farwa that the part where it says مبني على الفتح بمعنى that the mubtada will take a fatha? Abdullah, you disagree. I'm going to bring you on, not to cause any يعني مناقشة, not to cause any arguments or anything like that, but we're all here to learn. Do you mind, Sister Farwa?
No, that's okay.
You're still going to continue reading, but I just want to see why Sheikh Abdullah disagrees with you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh, Sheikh Abdullah.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله. كيف الحال؟
الحمد لله, حالي طيب. حياك الله أخي.
الله يجزيك الخير. I disagree that مبني على الفتح. I think that what that means is that the word inna is fixed on fatha, not the ism of the sentence.
طيب, so على هذا, on that statement there, what do you understand? What does that mean? What is the opposite meaning of that then? If we say that inna is mabniyun ala al-fath, what is the opposite meaning of that? What does that mean?
I don't understand what the question means.
So the fact that it's mabni ala al-fath means what?
It means that it's fixed on the fatha, that inna cannot change its form. It cannot have a dhamma, it cannot have a kasra.
هكذا أريد. بارك الله فيك يا أخي. هكذا أريد. I'm going to mute you again now, Abdullah. Thank you so much for participating. And Lu'ay, I believe it's Lu'ay. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correct. It means it will not change and changeable from a fatha. Excellent. Rayhana says al-mubtada means to not take another i'rab. Not too sure what you mean there, sister, but if you can clarify that, or maybe you heard the answer now. Lu'ay says fixed on fatha, cannot change. Mumtaz. Excellent. Okay, Sister Farwa, you see the next part that I've got in brackets?
Yeah.
I want you to read it, but it's not necessary to say it when we're doing al-i'rab. But Bismillah.
تنصب المبتدا وترفع الخبر فتجعل المبتدا اسما لها والخبر خبرا لها.
Mumtaz. If you was to just really briefly break down what that sentence means there, what would you say?
I would say that it's saying that it makes the mubtada mansub and it makes the khabar marfu, and it makes it so that we have to call mubtada sorry.
Yep.
We have to call mubtada, the ismu.
Yep.
Ismu inna. We have to call khabar inna.
May Allah bless you. Keep going, sister. As-sa'ata.
الساعة اسم إن منصوب بها وعلامة نصبه الفتحة الظاهرة على آخره.
And what is it? ما معنى هذا الكلام?
That is the ساعة is now اسم إن and it is منصوب, and the sign of it being منصوب is the clear fatha at the end.
Allah bless you. And the last word, آتية.
آتية خبر إن مرفوع بها وعلامة رفعه الضمة الظاهرة على آخره.
وما معنى هذا الكلام?
That this is referred to خبر إن, and it is مرفوع, and the sign of it being marfu is the clear dhamma at the end.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you, sister. Thank you. I'm going to mute you now. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Jazakallah khair.
Barakallahu fiki. طيب. Mute. G. All right. Is somebody? I feel like I can hear somebody. Okay. Mute. G. All right. Bismillah. Moving on swiftly. All right. Sometimes the predicate can present itself at the end of a sentence or verse in the Quran. Sheikh Abdullah, I'm going to unmute you now to read this for us, inshallah ta'ala. For example, على سبيل المثال يقول تبارك وتعالى اقرأ الآية please أخي.
إن الله على كل شيء قدير.
ما معنى هذه الآية أخي الكريم؟
Indeed, Allah is ever capable over all things.
ممتاز أخي, excellent. Now, I don't know if you guys can see, but I've actually tried to underline the words that I want you guys to pay attention to. So we say that in the above, or in the verse above, inna caused the word Allah, lafzul jalala, to become mansoob. We normally say lafzul jalala when we mention Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's name to glorify him. All right, lafzul jalala. I'm not even too sure the best way to translate it, but it's a form of, you know, ta'zeem, glorifying, praising of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if I say Allah's name and you hear me say lafzul jalala, know that I'm only praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as he deserves to be praised. All right, guys. So in the above verse, inna caused Allah to become mansoob, lafzul jalala, and the sign of it being, and the sign of this is the fatha, as you guys can all see at the end of the word. It is now referred to as what, Sheikh Abdullah?
It is ismu inna.
And the word qadirun is referred to as what, akhi?
Khabru inna.
Now, in this example, the word qadir being the khabar, it has been delayed. This is why I said its position has been delayed in the verse. Because if I were to express myself, right? I were to express myself without actually speaking about a verse in the Quran. So I'm not trying to change anything in the Quran. I just want to say that, you know, Allah is capable. What would I say, Sheikh Abdullah?
Allahu qadirun.
Yani, I want to emphasize it. You استعمل.
Yeah. Inna Allah qadirun.
هكذا. And that would mean indeed Allah is ever capable. So على كل شيء قدير is additional information in the sentence. All right, guys? But the most important thing I want you to focus on here is the fact that the word qadir is the khabar and it has been delayed. Sometimes you see this in Arabic. Words are going to be delayed. All right? Sometimes it's called a ta'khir. Sometimes you might have what we call a taqdeem, where a word will come in front. All right? A word will come in front. Let me think. Okay, I don't want to confuse anybody right now. Let's just leave it as it is now. But there are certain times the word that you may think is, for example, ismu inna is another word that has come in front of it because we've got a ta'khir wa taqdeem, you know, bringing words forward and causing words to become delayed or placed at the back. Hope that makes sense, inshallah tabaraka wa ta'ala. All right, Akhi, I'm going to just mute you until we get to the part where there's reading necessary, okay?
Yeah, jazakallah khair.
Barakallahu feek. طيب. Now, we've only ever looked until now of examples where the ism of inna is a clear noun. All right? In all of the examples, we saw the clear noun, then we placed inna in front of it, and then we saw the change that occurred. But what if the subject is an attached pronoun? Now, in book 1, for those of you that studied with me, or if you haven't, then inshallah ta'ala, you're aware that pronouns are split into 2 categories, all right? You've got those dama'ir, which are called al-munfasila. I'm not reading from the PDF at the moment, guys. I'm just speaking now. You've got those dama'ir, which are munfasila, which are commonly translated as detached pronouns. Those pronouns that do not attach to a noun either at the beginning nor at the end. Then you've got those dama'ir, which are muttasila, which means they always connect either to a verb or to a noun, and they will only ever attach when it comes to a noun at the end of the word. Guys, hit me up in the comments thread. Are you following what I'm saying so far? Very, very important. Very, very important that we're going to all stay on the same page. All right. All I've said basically in a nutshell is what happens now if the subject that we are referring to as ismu inna, instead of it being a noun, a standalone noun by itself, yeah, sure I can, no problem. Instead of it being a noun, what happens if that letter, that word presents itself as a pronoun? A pronoun which is munfasila, detached, i.e. anta, anti, antum, huwa, hiya, hum, and all the rest of the pronouns. There are a few more, detached pronouns. I've only used the most common ones here. So what happens if one of these words are in the position of al-mubtada? So for example, I wanted to say to, I don't know, you, Sister Rehana, okay? I wanted to say, anti talibatun, which means you are a student. But now I want to repeat that sentence, but I want to use inna in front of it. Do I say inna anti talibatun, or does something else happen because this detached pronoun now is going to connect with the word inna? What happens? This is what we're looking at, or this is what we're going to examine in this part of the lesson. Guys, is that clearer now, Sister Lu'ay? And please let me know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I'm not too sure who you are actually, with all due respect. Okay, so it makes sense now. Everybody else on the same page? Yep. Okay. Barakallahu fiqh, Abdullah. Excellent, excellent. Okay, Jay. So in book 1, we covered various different damair al-munfasila, detached pronouns in Arabic, like anta, anti, antum, huwa, hiya, hum. Also, you've got ana, you've got nahnu. These pronouns will never ever be connected to a word. They may come at the beginning of a sentence, they may even come in the middle of a sentence, or they may come at the end of a sentence. But irrespective of where they come, they will never attach to a noun so as to look like one word. Now, if the subject of a nominal sentence is a detached pronoun, when inna comes in front of it, it changes to its corresponding attached version of the pronoun. Guys, if you guys can, it's yes, Lu'ay with Hamza, not Ayn. Okay, Lu'ay, my bad. Really apologize for that. If you guys can get your head around what I'm about to say now, mashallah, tabarakallah, you guys, inshallah, gonna go clear in the language. When I say, mathalan, Muhammadun talibun, Muhammad is a student. We'll say Muhammad is the mubtada and it's marfu'. All right? Then we'll say talibun is the khabar and it's marfu'. So when I say, for example, I'm speaking about Muhammad, I'm speaking about him, I would say huwa talibun. You guys agree or you disagree? If you disagree, let me know. If you agree, let me know. Excellent. Jay. So the word huwa, a pronoun, is referring to the word Muhammad. So pronouns in Arabic, they replace the name of a person. All right, either to avoid repetition, or if the person who we're speaking about is known and we don't need to say his name, we would just use the appropriate pronoun. You guys with me so far still? Hope you are. So the word huwa talibun is still an example of a nominal sentence. We've got huwa, which is our mubtada, all right? However, huwa as a pronoun is mabni. Just like we learned inna wa akhawatuha, the mabni or mabniya, huwa, or should I say, ad-dama'ir al-munfasila, they are always mabniya. They are always fixed. So huwa is mabni ala al-fath. It's fixed on fatha. We won't say hu and we won't say huwi. But we say fi mahalli rafa'. It's in the position of rafa'. Why? Because the mubtada and the khabar are marfu'ani. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the class, ikhwani wa akhawati fillah. Hope that makes sense. So it's safe to say, one second, you guys following me? Please let me know. I'm going to continue, but I'm going to be checking the group chat. So it's safe to say, right? Safe to say that these dama'ir, Zubair, yani in a place of rafa', exactly. Fi mahalli rafa'. Fi mahalli rafa'. It's safe to say that these detached, all right, these detached or disconnected pronouns, if however you want to translate it, are also referred to as dama'ir al-rafa'. Dama'ir al-rafa'. If you hear me speak about dama'ir al-rafa', the first thing that should come to your mind is these detached pronouns. Why? Because they assume the position of al-rafa', or they can assume the position of al-rafa'. Make sense, ikhwani wa akhawati fillah? Let me know. Jade. One more person. Alhamdulillah. Barakallahu fi. Jade. Now, if the subject of a nominal sentence is a detached pronoun, when inna comes in front of it, it changes to its corresponding attached version of the pronoun. What I mean by this is that for every detached pronoun we have in the Arabic language, every single one of them without fail has a corresponding attached version of that pronoun. They have a corresponding attached version of that pronoun. Sometimes you may even see similarities between the two. Most of the time they're going to be different. All right, and we're going to cover them inshallah ta'ala in due course. All right, they are referred to as I've written here, dama'ir and nasb, pronouns in the nasb form. Here, when I say they, all right, when I say they, I'm speaking about the attached version once inna comes, once they attach to inna. These corresponding attached versions, this is what I'm speaking about when I say they. All right, guys? When I say they are referred to as dama'ir and nasb, i.e. the corresponding attached version of these detached pronouns, i.e. once the pronoun attaches to inna, whatever version now we have here, they are called dama'ir and nasb. Why? Because they're in the position of being mansoob. They're in the position of being mansoob. Ikhwani, akhawati wa akhawati fillah. Does that make sense? Any questions? Feel free just to fire it in the group. Now, having said that, all pronouns, all right, this is a qaida, all pronouns are mabni, fixed on their respective vowel ending, all right? So there is no change that is visible to the eye. There is no change that is visible to the eye. We will cover more in exercise 3 of this lesson, but let's take a look at a few examples. Now, I would love for somebody that hasn't participated, if you would like to participate, that would be fantastic. If not, no problem. Is there anybody that would like to be unmuted to read? Zubair? Okay. Where you at, Zubair? Where you at? Okay. Okay, there you go. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته أخ زبير، كيف حالك؟
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. حياكم الله أستاذ.
الله يحييك، بارك الله فيك. Okay, أخي, so far is everything clear what I've presented to you, yeah?
نعم الحمد لله. Yes.
Okay. So on the right hand side of the screen where you can see أنت أنتِ هو وهي, are they الضمائر المنفصلة or الضمائر المتصلة؟ ماذا تقول? What do you say?
الضمائر المفصلة. منفصلة نعم.
Excellent. So that means that the ones on the left hand side of the screen are obviously going to be muttasila, meaning connected. All right? Connected.
Yes.
As you can see, right? Munfasil means when something's detached or disconnected. You can see that there's a gap between them. All right? You can see there's a gap between them. Guys, you see when I'm highlighting something, or where I'm here, I'm highlighting blank space. Can you see the blue come up on your screen?
Yeah.
Okay, what word am I highlighting now?
مترسل.
Okay, excellent. So when we say muttasil, dama'ir al-muttasil, those connected dama'ir, you can see that the pronoun has connected to the word inna, or any word that comes in front of it, and it looks as if it's one word, innaka, innaki, wa hakadha. But in reality, they were two separate entities that have now come together to appear as one. So these dama'ir al-muttasila, akhi Zubayr, all right? These dama'ir al-muttasila, they are in the position of what?
They're in position of mansub
and nasb. Position of nasb, they are
nasb. No.
and they're in the position of nasb. Excellent. Alhamdulillah. Very, very good so far. طيب. So when I said earlier on, as you can see here, having said that all pronouns are mabni, anta will always stay anta. Anti will always stay anti. Huwa will always stay huwa. And kadhalika hiya will always stay here. Similarly, ka, the kaf al-khitab, the kaf of the person that you're speaking to, the singular masculine, will always be ka. It will never be ki because of an agent that came in front of it to have an effect on it to cause it to take a kasra. In terms of a visible change, it will always stay as it is. Similar with ki, similar with hu, and similar with ha. We have an exception with this pronoun. We do have an exception with this pronoun with some prepositions like ala. When ala comes in front of this pronoun, what do we say? Sallallahu
alayhi.
alayhi.
No.
Ala plus this ha al-ghaib for the singular masculine third person. We don't say alayhu for the most part. We normally say alayhi. This is the only one that changes. All right, it's the only one that changes in the singular and also in the plural form. Also, if I wanted to express, for example, his book, what do I say, Akhi Zubayr? Hada. Sorry, so I was about to give you the answer there. This is his book. What do I say?
His book, kitabu.
Sorry. Yeah, Hada kitabuhu. All right, now how do I say in his book?
في كتابه. في كتابه.
في كتابه.
في كتابه. No.
This is the only one that changes. The reason why? Because the Arabs like to make the language easy on the tongue. So it's easier to say في كتابه as opposed to saying في كتابه. But generally speaking, الضمائر مبنية. الضمائر مبنية. You follow me, أخي?
Yes, inshallah.
Is everybody else in the group? Are you guys following me so far? Abdullah says, yeah, great. She says, great. All right. So if a sentence said inna huwa mudarrisun, excellent. The dama'ir al-rafa becomes mansub, of course, or stays in the state, it would become mansub. And this is what we're going to cover here, inshallah ta'ala. Look at sentence number 3, sister. Huwa mudarrisun. Look how it's become. But I'm going to get Sheikh Zubayr to read it. So start with this one, bro.
Okay.
And you don't have to translate into English. You just have to say it in Arabic. But I want you to go across, right? So you're going to go across the whole line. So
okay.
Anta talibun becomes, then you read the rest.
No. Anta talibun becomes innaka talibun. And anti talibatun becomes innaki talibatun. Huwa mudarrisun becomes innahu mudarrisun.
Good.
هي مدرسة becomes إنها مدرسة.
Excellent. Sister Lu'ay, does that make sense now? So this dhamir, which is this dhamir huwa, which is في محل رفع, so the dhamir al-raf' becomes now innahu. Now it changes to the corresponding attached version of this dhamir. Okay, you said you understand, Jade. And now it's referred to as being في محل nasb. This dhamir, who, just like ha, just like ki, just like ka, is mansub. All right, it's mansub. Now, in all of the cases, right, the sign of it being in a state of nasb is the hidden fatha. The fatha is hidden. We don't say because inna ka ends in a fatha that the sign of it being in a state of nasb is the fatha. Because if that was the case, then surely we would change innaki to innaka. Sah? You guys understand? But innaki doesn't change. Innahu doesn't change. Innaha doesn't have a fatha because it's in the state of nasb. It has a fatha because ad-dama'ir mabniyatun. They're always fixed. It has a fatha whether it's in the position of nasb or in the position of jar or whatever the case may be, guys. These are pronouns that could either be, I'm talking about these ones here now, guys. The ka, the ki, the hu, the ha. These pronouns will only ever be in the position of nasb or in the position of jar. Please write that down, guys. I should actually add that to the PDF. These pronouns, the connected pronouns, ad-dama'ir al-muttasila, they're either going to be in the state of nasb, as you can see here, or they're going to be in the state of jar. Like I gave you guys the example. In his book, we would say, I'll say, in your book, ya Zubayr. I'm talking to you, Zubayr. I would say, fi kitabika. Here, the kaf came after the word. It came as the al-mudafu ilay. Fi kitabika. The word ka here is in the position of the mudaf ilay. And as you all know from studying lesson number 5 from Madinah book 1, al-mudafu ilayhi دائما مجرور وعلامة جره الكسرة الظاهرة على آخره 9 times out of 10. But what happens when the word that is in the position of al-mudaf ilayh is mabni, is fixed on its original vowel ending, then obviously it's not going to change. So when we say fi kitabika, the ka here is in the place of al-jar. You follow me, ikhwani wa akhwati fillah? Zubair, you with me?
No. Yes.
So these are ضمائر النصب والجر. But as it relates to these ones on the right hand side, they are ضمائر الرفع. Jade, akhi, you read all of them, right?
No. Yes.
May Allah bless you. I'm going to mute you and continue going. Guys, I know that we've completed an hour, but I really, really, really want to get through this this document. I hope you guys don't mind. Whoever needs to leave, no problem. You can catch the recording. Whoever can stay, that would be great. As long as I've got one person that's in the room, I'll continue. But if all of you have to go, then obviously I'll stop. I would prefer to finish too, says Abdullah. Excellent. All right, let's go, Akhi. Let's go. All right, Zubair, sorry, Akhi, I'm just going to mute you. Is that all right?
Absolutely fine. Jazakallah khair.
Barakallah feek. Okay. So, as you can see, the attached pronouns that are connected to inna are in the position of nasb. However, as all pronouns are mabniyun, yani fixed on their respective vowel endings, there will not be, so there is no change that is visible to the eye. Those attached pronouns, those ones that were on the left-hand side, that end in the fatha, do so because that's their natural ending, not because inna caused it to change. That's what I was trying to explain a little while ago. Now, the second particle from al-huruf al-nasikha that we will cover today is the word la'alla, and it is from akhawatu inna, the sisters of inna. Much like inna, it causes the subject to become mansub and take the name, that's a mistake there, take the name, ismu la'alla, guys. Sorry, guys. You know what? This is a PDF version. I'm actually going to change this on, here we go. I'm going to change this on the actual real one, but just so that, because obviously I'm recording now, this is going to be called Ismu. Guys, let me know if you can see me annotating on the screen. I can. All right. That was a mistake, right? So here and here, I'm actually writing with my mouse, so excuse the, you know, the kiddish writing. That should be like that. I will change it on my, you know, guys, we're going to have these little teething problems as we're going through the things, little mistakes that I've overlooked. Look at that. I've read this so many times, but only now I've spotted it. Anyway, it causes the subject to become mansub and take the name ismu la'alla, and causes the khabar to remain marfu' and take the name khabaru la'alla. So I'm going to clear that, clear my drawings, and then we're going to move on, inshallah, for tabarak wa ta'ala. J. طيب, however, the word la'alla has two possible meanings in the Arabic language. We will examine both of them below. As I remember in the actual book that hopefully, you know, once we do actually start reading from the book, where I think only one of the meanings of la'alla is mentioned. All right, but I'm going to examine both of them in this class today. Al-ma'na al-awwalu at-tarajji. Al-ma'na al-awwal for the word la'alla means at-tarajji. The first meaning of the word la'alla means hope. All right, so you've got on the right hand side now, al-ikhtibaru sahlun, al-ikhtibaru sahlun, which means the test, the quiz, the exam is easy. So if you put la'alla in front of that word, as you guys can all see, la'alla al-ikhtibara sahlun, la'alla al-ikhtibara sahlun. Here, we translate this as, I hope the exam is easy. But la'alla doesn't mean I hope. But if somebody says la'alla al-ikhtibara sahlun, the meaning is the person is saying, I hope the exam is easy. All right, guys? But understand the word I hope here quite loosely, because we're going to see a verse in the Quran where la'alla is used, but it doesn't say I hope. It just means to hope or to wish, to desire. Okay, guys? Hope that makes sense, inshallah ta'ala. Breaking this down, we say the word al-ikhtibara is ismu la'alla and sahlun is khabaru la'alla. Now, the second meaning for the word la'alla, as you guys can all see, is al-ishfaqu. Al-ishfaqu, which means fear. All right? Al-mudarrisu maridun. The teacher is sick. Then when we change this by adding la'alla at the beginning, la'alla al-mudarrisa maridun. I fear the teacher is sick. So let's say, for example, you know, you guys are all logged on online, right, at 9:45, and, you know, by 10 o'clock, I still haven't appeared. So Abdullah says, Assalamu alaikum, Aina al-mudarrisu? And then Sister Shalisha, she says, La'alla al-mudarrisa maridun. I fear that he's sick. All right, I fear that he's sick. He's late. You know, it's not like me to be late. So, لعله, or you can say لعله or لعل المدرسة or لعل إسماعيل مريض. I fear that Ismail is sick. All right, guys, let me know in the comments thread if that makes sense, and I'll continue reading. When we break this sentence down, we say المدرسة اسم لعل, and the word مريض is خبر لعل. Guys, only Zubair confirmed that makes sense. Does that mean everybody else is not listening? Or it doesn't make sense? So what's the situation? Please let me know. Yes, I understand. I get it. Sorry, makes sense. No problem. Guys, please let me know if you're tired as well. Don't feel that I will feel offended if you have to go. I mean, it is 11 o'clock at night. So I do appreciate that. You know, it is quite late. But I'm gonna crack on, inshallah ta'ala. Here we go now to amthilatu la'alla fil Quran. Is there anybody that hasn't read or hasn't participated that would like to participate from the group? So we've got Isam, Sharisha, Rayhana, and Lu'ay. I believe they're the only 4 that hasn't participated. Anybody, would you guys like to come on? 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, I'm assuming you guys can still hear me, but you don't want to come. Anybody that has come on before would like to come on again? Can I go, Zubair? Bismillah, let's go. Unmute. All right, أخي. أمثلة لعل في القرآن. اقرأ من هنا أخي. اقرأ من هنا.
يقول تعالى لعل الساعة قريب.
ما معنى لعل الساعة قريب أخي?
Indeed, the hour is close.
So when we break this down, or this verse down grammatically, ماذا نقول? What do we say?
لعل, which is حرف إشفاق ونصب مبني على فتح. على الفتح.
Excellent. And the word الساعة?
اسم لعل منسوب بها وعلامات نصبه الفتحة الظاهرة على آخره.
Habibi, you said وعلامات. You put the word علامة in the plural. You said وعلامات نصبه. Say وعلامة نصبه.
وعلامة نصبه.
ممتاز. وكلمة قريب.
قريب خبر لعل مرفوع بها وعلامة رفعه
ما شاء الله.
دمعة الظاهرة على آخره.
الضمة الظاهرة.
الضمة الظاهرة على آخره.
الضمة الظاهرة هكذا.
نعم. الضمة الظاهرة على آخره.
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. اقرأ.
يقول تعالى وقال فرعون يا هامان ابن لي صرحا لعلي أبلغ الأسباب.
وما معنى هذه الآية?
And Pharaoh said, O Haman, construct for me a tower that I might reach the ways to the heavens.
Akhi, if you don't mind me asking, where's your accent from? I'm trying to...
I'm up north. I'm from Manchester.
Manchester. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. Interesting. I was actually going to come up there last week, man. Or this week, actually. But plans have changed.
Anyway. You hit me up, inshallah.
Inshallah. All right, so it says, and Fir'aun said, وَقَالَ فِرْعَوْنُ, and Fir'aun said, يَا هَامَانُ, O Haman, ibni li, build for me, صَرَحًا, a tower, لَعَلِّي. All right, guys, here is, I initially had this example at the beginning, but then I delayed it because it's slightly different to what we've seen. here you've got the word la'alla. We've got la'alla. And then attached to the word la'alla, we've got a connected pronoun, all right, which is the connected version of the detached pronoun ana. All right, guys? Ana is a disconnected or detached pronoun. The attached equivalent is the ya al-mutakallim. You guys following me?
Yeah.
All right. So the word la'alla is the harf. The ya al-mutakallim is the domir muttasil, which is fi mahalli al-fath. Or fi mahalli nasb, sorry. Fi mahalli nasb. But it's mabni. The word is mabni. Now, when we look at the second part of the, or the last part of this ayah, أبلغ الأسباب. Okay, where did it go? There we go. Sorry, guys. أبلغ الأسباب. So that I may reach the ways, i.e. the ways to the heaven. We all know that Fir'aun, he was an extremely arrogant individual, such that he thought that he could, build stairs or some type of tower to go to the heavens. Anyway, the word from أبلغ الأسباب is a jumla fi'liya. This is a verb. بلغ يبلغ. All right, بلغ to reach. يبلغ, he reaches, or he is reaching. Al-asbab, the ways, i.e. to the heavens. Now this sentence, this jumla fi'liya, is in the place of the khabar. Remember before I told you that the khabar can present itself in different ways. Sometimes one word, sometimes it might be shibhu jumla, sometimes it might be a verbal sentence. And in this case, it's a verbal sentence. Does that make sense, Akhi Zubair?
No, so can I just say that so from what I understand so far, I don't want to get too far ahead. If it's jumlatul fi'liya, then we can we confidently say that if we say inna wa akhawatuha before a jumlatul fi'liya, then the khabar changes, is khabarul la'alla, or no, it's the mansub, the khabar changes from a marfu' to a mansub. Is that correct?
The khabar. This is the khabar here, Akhi.
Well, yeah, and so al-asbab, would that turn into a...
No. Okay,
okay.
That's a fantastic point, Akhi. Fantastic point. The word al-asbab, I'm so happy that you mentioned that, right? The word al-asbab isn't mansub because it is the khabaru la'alla. It's not to do with it's not to do with this word. Sorry, let me repeat that again. This word is not mansub because of anything to do with la'alla in the sentence. The reason why this word is mansub is because it's the object of the sentence. It's the object of the sentence, ablughu. All right? That's what's caused, ablughu has caused al-asbab to take a fatha. But if you look at the sentence as a whole now, without delving into it, ablughu al-asbab is the khabaru la'alla. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah,
okay.
got it.
Okay. Guys, I don't want anybody to get lost in the comments. Are you guys following me? Lu'ay said, so did la'alla change anything in this sentence? Excellent question. It always changes things, sister. It's whether or not that change is visible to the eyes or not. So in the case of the, let me highlight it, the connected pronoun, the ya al-mutakallim, la'alla change it to be mansoob, but it's not a visible change. Why? Because the ya al-mutakallim, as all pronouns are, mabni. They're fixed. So the sign of them, being in their particular state will never ever be visible. All right, you just have to understand. You have to understand. So Abdullah says, "Oh, I understand." Please let me know exactly what it is that you understand, Akhi, so I can understand exactly what it is that you understood. If that makes sense. So she said, "So it's a hidden change, as with the connected pronouns." Fantastic, sister. Exactly. And also, ablugh al-asbab. That is a jumla sorry guys. That is a jumla fi'liya in the place of khabaru la'alla. And we know that the khabar of la'alla is always marfu'. Let's continue reading, if you don't mind, Zubayr. So when we break this verse down grammatically, what do we say, Akhi al-Kareem? La'alla?
We say لعل حرف ترجيع والنصب المبني
ترجن. Let me put, this should be
ترج.
shadda above that. Tarajjin.
ترج ونصب مبني على الفتح المقدر على الآخر.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Let me quickly just read the comments and then I'll come and explain what I mean by al-muqaddar. The role of the attached pronoun confused me for a bit. Okay, alhamdulillah. All praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that who grants us understanding. طيب, Zubair, with the exception of the word al-muqaddar, break down what that means. حرف ترج ونصب مبني على الفتح, please.
The harf is tarajin. I don't know what tarajin means.
Okay. Do you remember before when I said that we're going to look at two meanings of the word la'alla? The first one is at-tarajjun.
Oh, yes. Tarajin. It could be hope, or is it hope?
Yeah. At-tarajji was hope, and al-ishfaqu is
fear.
Fear, exactly. But here we say tarajjin because of the absence of the alif and lam at the beginning, which causes us to delete the ya at the end. Don't worry, we're going to learn that at the bottom of this PDF, inshallah. Now.
So حرف ترج ونصب مبني. So the harf which is لعل is the ترج ونصب مبني is fixed upon mansub على الفتح upon the fatha, and مقدر على الآخر. I don't know what that means. مقدر على الآخر.
That's something interesting. You said that the harf is fixed on mansub.
No, sorry, that harf. I don't know how to explain it. No
worries. All we say is that this word here is harfu tarajjin, mean it's a particle of hope. It's a particle that denotes hope or for expressing hope. Wanasbin, meaning that it causes the noun that follows it to become mansub. We don't say it's mansub, it causes the noun that follows it to become in a state of an-nasb. And it is mabni ala al-fath. Ordinarily, we would say mabni ala al-fath and stop. But here now, we've come with an additional al-muqaddar ala akhirih. The reason why we say al-muqaddar, because you see when I'm going to scroll up to the ayah, you see when the ya al-mutakallim was attached to the word la'alla, look at this vowel sound above the lam. What is it, akhi?
It's la'alli.
So the vowel sound has changed from a fatha to a kasra, right?
No.
All right. Why did it change? It changed to accommodate the ya al-mutakallim. It changed to accommodate the ya al-mutakallim. Anytime that ya al-mutakallim is strong, anytime that ya al-mutakallim attaches to any noun or any particle, it pulls the vowel sound down. You understand? I would say kitabuka, kitabuha, kitabuki, kitabuhum, kitabuhunna. But what do I say when I say my book, akhi?
Kitabi.
Aywa. What happened to the vowel sound on top or below or on top of the ba that was a dhamma? Kitabuka, kitabuki. What happened to it?
It changes into a kasra.
It's not because it's majroor. It's not majroor. It's actually marfu'. When we say kitabuka, the word kitab is in a state of rafa'. When that ya al-mutakallim attached to it, it pulled it down. Why? Because it's so strong. All right. So this is when we say it's mabni. La'alla here is mabni ala al-fath al-muqaddar, an implied fatha, the hidden fatha. All right, at the end. So you don't see the fatha when we say la'alli, but it's there because that is the asl, that is the origin. Talk to me, guys. Make sense? Zubair, you with me?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, understood.
Janisha, may Allah bless you. Abdullah says, yeah, may Allah bless you, akhi. Farwa, you still there? Lu'ay, you with us? Isam? Looks like somebody's left. Let me check. Isam's still here. Farwa looks like she's gone. Okay, Jade, no worries. Rayhana, okay, you still there? Excellent. Jade. Okay, keep reading, akhi, from here. Waliya'u.
والياء ضمير متصل مبني على السكون في حمل النصب اسم في محل نصب اسم لعل, and that means the pronoun is connected.
Good.
مبني fixed upon سكون
Meaning that
في
it has on top of it.
yeah في in the place of نصب
Excellent.
اسم لعل. نعم.
أخي. أبلغ الأسباب.
is جملة فعلية في محل رفع خبر لعل. نعم it's a جملة فعلية in the place of رفع.
Excellent. Why? Because the خبر لعل, just like the خبر إن, is
نعم.
the خبر الأخوات إن وأخواتها will always be مرفوع. بارك الله فيك أخي. I'm going to mute you. Is that all right, bro?
وفيكم بارك الله.
Okay, Jake. All right, guys, moving on swiftly. Ooh, it's getting hot in my house now. Let me quickly open up the window real quick. Sorry, guys. So, in the aforementioned verse, we see an example of ismu la'alla being an attached pronoun. The attached pronoun is the ya al-mutakallim, i.e. the ya for the person that is speaking. It is still in reality in the position of nasb, but as we previously mentioned, all pronouns are mabniyun, they're fixed on their respective vowel ending. In this case, it is fixed on as-sukun, but it still remains ismu la'alla. Now, khabaru la'alla has presented itself as a verbal sentence, and this is one of the ways al-khabar, the predicate or the news, can present itself. We have previously covered examples wherein al-khabar, the predicate, was one word. But this isn't the only way that it can appear. Sorry, this is a very important point to pay attention to. And I alluded to that a couple of minutes ago, InshaAllah tabaraka wa ta'ala. Guys, then we move on to the grammar point or the grammar, the word dhu. All right, guys, if you're listening, you're still awake. All right. You know what, guys, I'm going to go for another 15 minutes. I think it's going to be a bit of a dhulm if I expect you guys to stay awake for the whole of this session. I'm really sorry, guys, but look, you know, I could have, after lesson 1, after doing a little introduction, we could have went straight into the book and started reading and not really got all of these benefits. Yes, it's taken a bit longer, but you're going to be a stronger student as a result. I really hope that you guys you know, understand where I'm coming from. So does that mean la'alla is still, so la'alla, is that like, are you saying la'alla is still a jumla ismiya even if the ending is jumla fi'liya? I'm not following the sentence. Does that mean la'alla is jumla ismiya? La'alla isn't a jumla ismiya. La'alla is a harf. All right, it could be harfu tarajjin or harf ishfaqin. But it comes in front of a nominal sentence. It comes in front of a nominal sentence. All right, I'm going to continue, sister, but I will be looking at the group chat to see what you mean, inshallah. So dhu is an ism from al-asma'u al-khamsa. Inshallah ta'ala, if you did book 1 with me, you would learn, or we would have covered al-asma' al-khamsa. From them is fam. From the asma' al-khamsa is, I forget now, abu. All right, akhu. All right, there's 2 more. There's dhu, and there's 1 more that I'm missing. Some of the Arab grammarians say there's 6. Some say there's 5. Anyway, they're from those 5 nouns, and they work significantly different. These nouns, they work in a different way when they are in the state of rafa', when they are in the state of nasb, and when they're in the state of al-jar. I'm not going to get into that now because I really want to focus on the main part of this class. Now, the word dhu means to possess and will always be al-mudaf. That means, ikhwani wa akhawati fillah, that the word that follows it is going to be al-mudafu ilay in the state of jar. So remember, we said that the word dhu means for somebody to possess, all right, or somebody to own. Muhammadun dhu khuluqin. Like literally speaking, we would say Muhammad owns or possesses good manners. Muhammad possesses good manners, all right? In English, we wouldn't really say possesses good manners. We'd probably say that he is well-mannered. Muhammad is well-mannered, or he's courteous, or something along those lines, right? But notice that the word dhu, after the word dhu, the word khuluq has a kasra, 2 kasras at the end. Why? Because it's the mudaf ilay. It's in the state of al-jar. Very, very simple. All right, is the harf la'alla still in jumla? No, okay. Even if khabaru la'alla, no. If from what I understand of your sentence, sister, we wouldn't say that the word la'alla or la'alli is the jumla fi'liya. All right, think of them as they're two separate entities. The two separate entities that have come together to appear as one. Inna wa akhawatuha you mentioned is only for jumla ismiya, and that's true. That's true. But remember, la'alli was originally ana ablughu al-asbab. Ana ablughu al-asbaba. But when la'alla came in front of it, it changed from la'alla ana ablughu al-asbab to la'alli ablughu al-asbab. I hope that makes sense. If not, please continue to ask questions until I explain it clearly. I don't know if I'm understanding you correctly, hence why I'm unsure if I'm explaining it in the best way. Amthilatu dhu fil Qur'ani. Abdullah, I'm going to unmute you, brother. I hope that's okay. Please, can you read يقول تعالى? Read from يختص.
يختص برحمته من يشاء والله ذو الفضل العظيم.
معنى هذه الآية أخي الكريم?
He selects for his mercy whom he wills, and Allah is the possessor of great bounty.
Excellent. Of great bounty. Here, dhu meaning the possessor, and we use dhu for, in grammar, the singular masculine. All right? Dhu al-fadl. The word that comes after dhu, is going to be al-mudhafu ilay majroor. وعلامة جره الكسرة الظاهرة على آخره. Al-azim is describing the word al-fadl. What type of fadl is it? Al-azim, great. What type of bounty is it? It's great bounty. And that's to do with the na'at, the relationship between a na'at wal man'ut or a sifa wal mawsuf, as you guys would have covered in book number, Madinah book 1. Make sense, Akhi Abdullah?
Yeah, can I just ask a quick question though?
Sure you can.
What kind of word is dhu? Is it an ism, a fi'l, or a harf?
Okay, remember we've covered now, al-kalam is split into 3, asma'un or ism, fi'l, wa harf. Now we're only dealing with the huruf. Okay, so I get what you mean. Sorry, my bad. I went off on a tangent there. This word here would be considered to be, wallahu a'lam, an ism. An ism.
Oh, because it's part of that construction. I forgot the name, where you have two nouns and one is the possessor and one is the one being possessed.
Al-mudaf wal mudafu ilay.
Oh, yeah, that one. The mudaf and mudaf ilay.
If you scroll up, right here, it means to possess and will always be al-mudaf.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Al-mudaf ilay. Jay,
Yeah,
so
that makes sense. Jazakallah khair.
بارك الله فيك أخي. يقول تعالى وربك.
وربك الغفور ذو الرحمة.
Okay, وما معنى هذه الآية?
And your Lord, the ever-forgiving, is the possessor of mercy.
Excellent, guys. Excellent. Sorry, guys. Can you see the word dhu came in front of the word ar-rahma and caused it to become majroor? Make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Awesome. يقول تعالى اقرأ يا أخي.
إن ربك لذو مغفرة وذو عقاب أليم.
Okay, interesting. Look at the word inna. What does inna mean, Akhi Abdullah?
Indeed.
Okay, what did it do to the word rabbaka?
Oh, it caused the word Rabb to enter the case of mansub.
Excellent, Akhi. Excellent. So this is why we say rabba as opposed to rabbu. That's the first benefit. All right, first benefit. Inna rabbaka la. And now this lam, I don't want to get into it too much now because it's not actually taught in the book. So we've got enough to cover as it relates to the information that's in the book.
Yeah.
Going outside. But here, look, you got dhu, and then you've got the word maghfiratin, which is mudaf ilayh, wa dhu iqabin. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our Lord, and He is the Lord. He's a possessor of great forgiveness and also a painful penalty. Jade. So dhu is used for the singular masculine, as I previously mentioned. It changes depending on the gender of the noun and whether the noun is in the singular or the plural form. Please look at the table below, which outlines how we can actually apply the word dhu in its different instances. So on the right-hand side, akhi, you've got al-mufrad, then you've got al-jam', right? Singular,
Yes.
and you've got plural. Then at the top, you've got al-mudhakkar, and you've got al-mu'annith, all right? Al-mudhakkar and al-mu'annith, masculine and feminine. So it's a very, very straightforward table. So I just want you to read from mufrad mudhakkar, then say mufrad mu'annith, then al-jam' al-mudhakkar, then al-jam' al-mu'annith. Bismillah, akhi.
Okay. زيد ذو خلق.
نعم.
Then أمينة ذات.
ليس أمينة، آمنة.
آمنة. I'm sorry. آمنة ذات خلق.
Excellent.
الطلاب ذو خلق.
Excellent.
الطالبات ذوات خلق.
Excellent. And very, very straightforward. All of this exercise here is a case of remembering. We say dhu for mufrad al-mudhakkar. We say dhatu for mufrad al-mu'annith. We say dhawu for al-jam' al-mudhakkar and dhawatu for the jam' for the mu'annith. Make sense, guys? Pretty straightforward and clear, right?
Yeah.
Jade. All right, I probably think that this is going to be the last exercise that we cover now because of the time. We've done 1 hour and 37 minutes already, subhanAllah. Guys, let me take a vote, actually. Let me take a vote. I don't want to do dhulm on anybody, and I don't want to also not be able to provide, the best possible dars because it's late for everybody. So would you guys want to stop here? Have we covered enough information for you guys to, inshallah ta'ala, try to lock down before next lesson? How does that sound? Whatever you can. What do you mean, whatever you can? What are you saying, Abdullah? What do you want to do?
You see, because I'm in America, so it's the middle of the day here. I don't want to. I'm okay. I can go. I can continue.
Okay. Shalisha, what are you saying? I have work in the morning. Yeah, there's a work in the morning. Yes, stop here. Start fresh Friday. I can go for 10 minutes. Okay, whatever you want. I have work in the morning. All right. I'll tell you what, Abdullah, what I'll do, right? Because it seems like the overwhelming majority, maybe it's not munasib, yani suitable.
Yeah.
What you can do, which will be tremendously beneficial. Did you? I asked your mum. I don't see. I think I got a reply, or maybe she replied, but I started the lesson by then. Did you actually receive this PDF form via email, or can you ask your mum if she received?
I have not. I am not sure if my mother has.
Okay.
But yeah, I could just quickly check just to confirm.
That would be fantastic, because if that's the case, Akhi, what I would suggest that you do is perhaps just read. All right, just read, and then obviously there may be things that you may not understand, and there's obviously going to be things that you do understand. Those things that you don't understand, make a note. So when Friday comes now, you're going to be one step ahead of the rest, because you understand for the most part what we're going to be covering. And in addition to that, you've got any questions that you want to fire at me, or you can even hit me up before then, Akhi. Don't wait till the lesson. I'd actually prefer that. So if there's a question,
okay, yeah, Jazakallah khair.
Exactly, yeah. So you got my WhatsApp number. Your mum's also got access to me via Facebook Messenger, inshallah. So we're going to stop now, and next week we're going to reconvene from am versus o. There's a question here. Sister says, I have 2 questions before you go, please. Certainly. If la'alla means to hope and to fear, how would you know the speaker doesn't mean? That's hilarious. How would you know? Well, I mean, I hope if I was late and you, sister, said لعل المدرس مريض, I hope you wouldn't be saying, I hope the teacher is sick. And I mean, I suppose it's context, right? It's context, and if the person's bad mind and he says something or she says something like that, then obviously we know what they intend. But yeah, it'll be context, asiyah for the most part. But that's really funny, man. Where's the second question? Also, I have Hanswehr and Al-Mawrid dictionary, which is better to use. Fantastic. Good question. I personally prefer al-mawrid if I'm just, where's my mawrid at? If I'm just looking up a noun, all right, I'm looking up a noun, I don't necessarily, or I'm looking up a noun, and I want to find it quickly. It's laid out really nicely. The vowel sounds are all written on the pages. I would just go to al-mawrid. That's my number one go-to dictionary. But Hanswehr is better, especially when it comes to verbs. All right. Whatever dictionary you decide to use, you have to know how to use the dictionary and how to strip down the verb. For example, we covered a verb today, ablughu. Let me find it again. Where are we at now? All right, even this verb here, all right, yakhtassu. If you don't know how to, like, if you were looked up yakhtassu, if you tried to look up yakhtassu in al-mawrid and Hanswehr, you will never be able to find it. Why? Because this verb is in the present tense. All right, it's in the present tense. You have to know what letter is the present tense. You strip that off. What do I replace it with? How do the vowels change? So if you were to go to al-mawrid now, you would find yakhtassu under ikhtassa. If you try to look that up, sister, but before next lesson, check it out. Ikhtassa. Same with the Hanswehr. You have to know how to strip a verb down, depending on if it's in the past, present, or whatever, however it looks, to the singular, masculine, third person. That is a science in and of itself. Once you do that, then you can utilize both dictionaries. But the thing I do like about Hanswehr is at the beginning of it, before it even gets into all of the translations and whatnot, it teaches you exactly how to use it and about the different scales, the different the mizan, the different the awzan al-af'al. They have like letters like fa and all. It's a different. It's a very, very specific way that they present the dictionary. At the beginning of the dictionary, it teaches you how to do that. Also, when you do go and find a verb, when you look next to the verb, right, which is probably written in transliteration, if I'm not mistaken, there's a letter like an A or an I or a U. That means something. You have to know how to use Hanswehr. But the al-mawrid is way easier. You just pick it up and use it as and when you need to. Does that make sense, guys? Hope it does. Ustad, is there any leeway on the timings of the class, such as making it a bit early in the day? I'm not sure what everyone else feels about the timings. Earlier in the day. The reality is, Ikhwani wa akhwati, see today, Wednesday, I usually teach in the masjid. I didn't go today. I called up sick. So generally speaking, Wednesdays during the day is not a good day. I mean, if everybody wants to try to see if we can do it during the day on another day, like maybe Tuesday, during the day, that could potentially work for me. But again, I don't know if that's going to work for everybody else in terms of work. And Abdullah, I don't know what time it's going to be in America. Tuesday during the day for us, what time it's going to be in America for you. I hope that makes sense.
I think my class started at 3:45 p.m. So you guys are about 6 hours ahead, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so if I'm going to do something back at 12, 1 o'clock, that's going to be 6, 7 a.m. in America. And again, I don't know. I think other students have work, Sister Lu'ay. I'm assuming that it's going to be inconvenient for them. Sister, she says, yes, I know what you're saying. Those letters help me. Like, as we're excellent. Abdullah says, yep, I'm fine with timings. What does that mean, Zubair? You're fine with the current timings as they are now? Or, I tell you what, let everybody hit me up privately because I don't want everybody to see. After Maghrib, after Maghrib is perfect. Okay, I'm with you. I'm going to try to not make lessons, 1 hour, 44 minutes. But, Ikhwan, there's just so much to cover. And I think that I would be doing a big major disservice to you guys if we didn't go through all of these things here.
Yeah, I actually prefer it this way.
May Allah bless you.
Understand.
You know what? At the end of the day, it's all about connecting with the Book of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. So I can teach you these rules as abstract rules. Muhammadan dhu khuluqin. All right, Muhammad possesses, but that's not really going to do anything to you in your relationship with your Lord or the Kitab of Allah. But when you actually see these rules being implemented in the Kitab of Allah, you're like, that's why al-fadl ends in a kasra, because it's mudaf ilayh. Soon enough, inshallah, you won't need no vowels, and you'll be able to have that lisan that's mustaqim in the Arabic language. You know, that's the whole point. I'd rather go slow and in detail rather than just rush through it just to say, yeah, we done book 2. I don't want to do that, guys. I want you guys to come out at the end of this as tulab al-ilm, you know, strong students of knowledge in the Arabic language, if anything, inshallah ta'ala. So yeah, so do forgive me for you know, these long classes. Where there's Lu'ay says that's fine, barakallah fiqh, whatever is best for everybody else, inshallah. But again, sister, if you know, I think this is Aisha, you can reach out to me anytime, you know, if you've got any questions or anything like that. If you want to speed up a little bit, and I'll be more than happy to help. Yes, you are a good I appreciate that, I really do, man. But all good is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is the one that ultimately gives us the ability to do what we do, inshallah. So thank you guys very much for your attendance and for listening attentively. And if you need anything, guys, message me. Please don't be strangers, inshallah ta'ala. Next lesson, inshallah, we're definitely going to finish. What page are we on now, guys? We're on page 17. All right, we're on page 17 of about 28. So we've only got 10 more pages to do. Then we're going to go straight into the book, inshallah. Please read what we're going to be covering next lesson, guys, so you're well prepared. If you have any questions, please feel free to send them before the lesson so I can prepare the answer if I don't know. And I look forward to seeing you guys on Friday at the same time. Take care, ikhwani wa akhawati fillah. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Okay, how do I count? Okay, stop share. That's the first thing I'm going to do. Stop share. And then I'm going to stop recording.